Hello, my loves. Today we're working on 11.8, estimate volume. Here's our standard. I can measure volume by counting unit cubes, cubic centimeters, cubic inches, cubic feet, and improvised units. So we're working today on those improvised units. They're not an exact unit, so we're measuring with everyday items that you'll see around the house. Now here, volume, they're showing you that 1 cubic foot is in this cube. So if there are 20 cubes, then that means there are 20 cubic feet in this figure. If this was a cubic inch, then this would be 20 cubic inches. If this was, oh my goodness, what do I have around here? Let's say if it was a can of soup. Sure, why not? Instead of talking about cubic feet, we're talking about those improvised units. If this was 1 can of soup, then this entire figure would be 20 cans of soup, right? So that's what we're talking about today. All right, here's our objective. I can estimate the volume of a prism. So you're estimating the volume of that prism. We're not looking for the exact answer. How can you use an everyday object to estimate the volume of a rectangular prism? Here are the lead measures. We're going to unlock the problem, and then we're going to practice finding the volume of rectangular prisms using common objects as units. And then I've assigned for you finding volume with MegaMath and reviewing polygons and polyhedrons with MegaMath. Those links are right there on my page, right underneath this video, actually. So make sure that you practice that. When you finish that activity, you could always hit that exit button and play around with any of those other learning games on MegaMath. And of course, you've got those 2 iReady grades, those 2 lessons that I assigned, plus your everyday regular iReady lessons. Remember, if you failed those lessons twice, you're not going to be able to take it a 3rd time unless I reassign it to you. So you're going to have to email me, message me on Class Dojo, send me an email from the webpage. Let me know that you would like me to reassign that for you. Also, if you get a grade you didn't like, if you got a 75, and I mean, it's still passing, but you want to try again, by all means, let me know, and I'll reassign that to you. There's no reason why you couldn't do it 100 times if you wanted to get that A+. That's okay, because, practice really helps us a lot. And of course, if you want perfect attendance, you've got to have those 50 minutes of math plus 50 minutes of reading. All right, let's unlock the problem. You can estimate the volume of a larger box by filling it with smaller boxes. Okay, so here we have a box of crayons. And in that box of crayons, they're trying to fill a larger shipping box with those crayons. And I hope you can see it, but this shipping box goes like that. You see that? It's a bit of a shadow. So they're showing you that the crayons don't fit exactly in that box. And you know what? That's a good thing, because if those crayons were perfectly packed in that box, it would be really hard to get them back out. So there's a little bit of wiggle room for you to, get your fingers in there so you can scoop out those crayons. So that's why we're estimating. Because we're not finding the exact volume of the crayon boxes, we're finding the volume of this box here, because there is a little bit. That's why we are estimating, because there's that little bit extra. Come on, my mouse. Come on, my mouse. That's not a mouse. There we go. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, for instance, this is 1 unit. We're going to call it a unit. And we need to find out how many units fit inside this box. Well, let's count them. 1, 2, That's 3, 4, and 5. So if these are 5 units, how many do you think this one's going to be? There you go. So you've got those other units. Now, since this entire piece is 10 units, what about these back here? How many units is that going to be? That's going to be 10 as well. So the volume of this box, we have 10 units here, 10 units there. Volume equals 20 cubic units. All right, let's take a look here. Now, each tissue box is 125 cubic inches. And if you look carefully, you see that's one box, 2, 3 boxes there, and then we have 3 boxes here. Ooh, get in there. So that means altogether I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 boxes. Now, each of those boxes eraser. No, let's try erase all ink. Okay, perfect. So each of those boxes is 125 cubic inches. So that's really important that we're talking about cubic inches. So here is 125 cubic inches. And this one's 125 cubic inches. And this one's 125 cubic inches. So I could add 125 9 times, or I could very simply multiply 125 times 9. So I can do my algorithm, and my algorithm says to multiply by my ones place. 9 times 5 is 45. Regroup my 4. 9 times 2 is 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And 9 times 1 is 9, 10, 11. So the volume equals 1,125, what are we talking about? Cubic inches. So we're either just adding over and over and over again, or we're simply multiplying. What about over here with the cereal boxes? The volume of one cereal box is 324 cubic inches. Well, let's take a look at what we have here. I can tell that this space right here has 2 cereal boxes. You see how I can tell that it's 2? Usually when you buy a cereal box, it just has one of those UPC codes. And this is that information there that tells you how many calories and all that. And it only has one on each cereal box. So this has 2 cereal boxes. And you can see here, this is going to be 4 cereal boxes. There's 6. Here's 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. There are 18 cereal boxes there. And each cereal box is 324 cubic inches. So we need to multiply 324 times 18. So what I want you to do is pause this video, grab a piece of paper, do the math, and then play the video again, and let's see if your math matches mine. So I have 8 times 4, and I know that 8 times 4 is 32. And then I have 8 times 2, which is 16, 17, 18, 19. Regroup. And then 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So that's it for my ones place. Now I'm working on my tens place. So I could be multiplying this by 10. 10 times 4, 10 times 20, or 10 times 300. But to make it easier, that's what the algorithm is for. I'm going to put my 0 for my tens there. Now I'm just going to simply multiply 4 times 1, 4. 2 times 1, 2. 3 times 1, 3. And when I add them up, I have a 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Regroup. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 5. So the volume of this shipping box, this whole big box, is about 5, 8, 3, 2. And we say it's about that because remember we've got this little bitty gap in there. There's a little gap around it. So we say that it's about 5,832 what? Cubic inches. That's really important. Cubic inches. Okay. Let's go to come on, move along. Let's try it again. Trying too many things here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's estimate the volume here again. So what we have is a big box, and you can very clearly see the gap in this one. And that box is filled with books. How many books? Count them up. Did you get 12? I have 1, 2, 3 books there. 4, 5, 6 books there. 7, 8, 9. And even though I can only see the one on the top, I know that they're all going to be even and follow that pattern. So it's going to be a total of 12. So I have to do 80 times 12. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use that commutative property and make my life easier and switch the numbers around. 12 times 80. Because now I have that 0 that just drops down. And I only have to multiply 8 times 2 to get 16. Regroup. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Done. Rather than 2 times 0 and 2 times 8, and then put my 0 and then 1 times 0, 1 times 8, I can use that commutative property to multiply a little bit easier. So the volume of this large box is about 960 cubic inches. 960 cubic inches. All right, let's clear, and let's go with this one. We have a big shipping box full of chalk, and we need to estimate the volume because, again, we've got this extra space here that's not actually filled with chalk. The volume of one little chalk box is 16 cubic inches. So we need to find out how many boxes of chalk are here in all. Well, let's count them. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 here. So that means there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And there's 4 here. And even though I can't see those, I know they're also going to be 4. So I have 4, 8, 12, 24 in all. So now what I need to do is I need to multiply. Let's start with my ones place. 4 times 6. 6 plus 6 is 12, and 12 doubled again is 24. And then I do 4 times 1 is 4. I've got a 6. So 16 times 4 is 64. Now let's move on to our tens place. Because we're multiplying by tens, we'll put that 0 there. 2 times 6 is 12. Regroup that 1. And then 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And when I add up my partial quotients, I have a 4, I have an 8, and 3. So my answer is this box is about 384 cubic inches. Now I hope you remembered to pause the video, do the math, and then play the video again to check your answers. And remember, when you're doing that math, don't just scribble, don't just throw it willy-nilly, organize it, put it in order. I didn't put numbers here. I didn't say this is number 3 or number 4, but you know what? You could. You don't have to go just by what you see. You can organize all by yourself. Make things nice and clear. And put a heading on it. We know that this is 11.8. Put your heading. All right, let's go to that next one. Okay, and this is the last one here. Nope, wrong button. There we go. Pardon me. All right, so we have a case, a very big case of spaghetti boxes. And let's see, how many spaghetti boxes are in this case? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if this row has 5, then this row has 5. That's 10, 15, and 20. So this section of the box has 20 boxes of spaghetti. That means this one's going to have another 20. So it's 40. 40 times 750. Now again, I'm going to use my commutative property and flip those numbers, 750 times 40. I could multiply like this if I wanted to, and do the 5 and do the 20. Sure, I could. And I would just have to remember that this is an imaginary 0. But I like myself. I love myself. I'm going to make my life easier. Because we have a 0 in the ones place, we can skip that and go straight to the tens. And again, we're at the tens place, so we're going to put the 0 there in the tens place. Sorry, the 0 in the ones place. And now we multiply. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Now remember, we just multiplied 4 times 5, so the regrouping goes over here. And 4 times 7. Now what if you were to say, I don't know my 7 times tables? Do that hashtag helper. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. And 21 plus 7 is 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 7 is 28. Another way you can think of that is I know that 7 times 2 is 14, and 14 plus 14 is 28. So we've got 28, 30. 1, 2, 3, comma. So the volume of this spaghetti box is about 30,000 cubic centimeters. So again, 30,000 cubic centimeters is this right here. It's just the spaghetti boxes. It's not including this little bit extra. That's why it's about. Okay, last one. The volume of the pencil box is 4,500 cubic centimeters. So one pencil box is 4,500 cubic centimeters. And how many pencil boxes are there? Well, look again, here's a clue. You only see one UPC label, so that's only one box. This is one box. It's a big box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, my goodness gracious, how easy is that? We know how to multiply by 10, don't we? We focus on that 1. We're focusing on 45 times 1, and 45 times 1 is 45. Now let's talk about the powers of 10 that we're dealing with. 45, I have 1, 2 powers of 10. And here is the third power of 10. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 45,000 cubic centimeters. Awesome. All right. Now, of course, just like usual, you can always go back and rewatch these videos as many times as you like. All right, now here on my page, we just finished 11.8 estimate volume, and now we're going to practice finding volume with MegaMath.
Hi, I'm Penny. Welcome to Frozen Solids. In this module, you will match solid figures with their descriptions, find patterns that can be folded to make a solid figure, and look at solid figures from different views. Click this Help button if you are not sure what you need to do to answer a question. Click this button if you want to see the meaning of a word used in this module. Click this button if you want to repeat a question. Click this button if you want to erase what you have done in answering a question. Click this button if you want to repeat an entire level of questions. Click this button when you have finished answering a question. Click this button when you want to move on to the next question. Click this button if you want to see what skill level you are on, or what skill level you want to move to. Click this button to return to the main menu.
All right. So
identify the solid figure that has the same volume as this rectangular prism.
There we go. So we are looking for the same volume as this one. So we need to first find the volume. And this is where, again, paper and pencil, please. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. So I know that right here, 3 times 4 is 12. But I have another dimension. I have 2. My third dimension is 2, so it's 4 times 3 times 2. And we know that 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So you need to find which one of these also has the volume of 24 cubic units. Okay? So that's what you're going to do in this lesson. In the next lesson, you're going to review polygons and polyhedrons.
Hi, I'm Tally. Welcome to Undersea 3D.
We're going to skip his intro.
Count the cubic units in the rectangular prism. What is the volume in cubic units?
Okay, and again, you're going to answer these questions. Some of them are review.
Identify the solid figure that
When
has the same
you're
volume
done,
as this rectangular
you can
prism.
always go back. Or this little button they mentioned before. Oh, can I get you? Come on. Maybe not. They won't let me go back. Okay. So here I went back into Shapes Ahoy.
Hi, I'm
I have ship shapes, there's undersea 3D, sea cave sorting. All of this is about measurement and geometry. In the other one,
Identify the solid figure that has the same volume as...
you don't want me, why won't you let me click? Okay, that's all right. So now we're here at Ice Station Exploration. Frozen solids, polar plains, Arctic algebra, linear lab. So you feel free, after you do those assigned activities, grab some other activities and find some more to do. Okay. So, my goodness, they won't stop the noise. All right. So, back here, we're done with our lesson. Make sure you practice finding the volume and then review your polygons and polyhedrons and then get to your iReady. All right, have fun. I'll see ya. Love you. Bye.